to slap him around. Just slaps him one time after another after another. He went easy on him, actually, by just smacking him in the mouth. Is there any bigger insult than to get smacked in the mouth? I don't think so. You know, it's degrading, it's embarrassing. So rather than beat him up, he smacks him 2 or 3 times hard, chases him out. And at that point in time, Danny becomes the union boss. They wanted him to become the boss. The men did anyhow, so he becomes the boss. I'll tell you why this bothers me a little bit. Normally, that union would have been controlled by guys in the mob, no question about it. And the fact that Danny was just able to take over without the mob authorizing him or supporting him on it, the fact that Danny was able to throw that boss out, you know, so easily and got no retaliation over it, that didn't work for me. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the situation was at that time with that longshoremen's union, but I know all the longshoremen were controlled by the mob guys, no question about it. So that didn't work too much for me, but hey, it worked great in the movie. So now Danny Greene is the president of the union, and what is he doing? He starts to make money, he puts his people in place, he finds a girl, they get married, you know, his life is great, but what do? He starts to do some shady things as the union boss. A newspaper reporter is watching him, investigating him through all of this, and he finds out that, you know, Danny is corrupt and they're doing grand larceny and extortion and racketeering deals and all this kind of stuff. He writes a huge story about it. And next thing you know, Danny is indicted. He's indicted by the locals, not by the feds, by the locals. And he loses his job in the union, obviously. And there's a scene there when he's with the investigator or the detective that locked him up and says, look, you're facing 10, 15, 20 years, whatever the numbers are. He says, but I can work a deal with you. And he tells Danny, look, we don't know much about organized crime here. He says, all you have to do is become an informant once a month, sit down with me and tell me what's going on in the world of organized crime. And Danny says, I don't have to testify. He says, you don't have to testify. You do that, it'll be time served. You can't be in the union again. You have to sign something. You'll never go back to the union, but that's the deal. So Danny goes for it. And you know, it made me think of guys in my life, Willie Boy Johnson, who was an undercover informant for the feds for, I believe, 20 years. You know, Willie Boy, he worked for, or he was with John Gotti, and he happened to get close to me. I was shylocking money for him. I was giving it to him. He was putting it out on the street. Little did I know, he was an informant for over 20 years. Eventually, Willie Boy got killed. Gotti found out about it, and, you know, his body was found, and obviously, you know, not a good situation for him.